going on, guys? Roma the Romer here. I'm here with Jamison, and this guy traveled around the country and did 800,000 in sales last year.
Basically, I lived in and out of Airbnbs, hotels, and other resellers' houses.
Okay.
Traveling back and forth from East Coast to West Coast, and randomly throughout. I think I visited.
How'd you meet up with other resellers? How did you meet up with? Was it like through Facebook groups, or did you know them already through like meetups? Did you meet people, or were they complete strangers?
Actually, a mixture of all of them, except this complete strangers. Networking through Facebook over the years, and just doing like videos with friends and stuff like that.
So you stayed at other people's houses, and how are you making money in the process of doing all this? You, I mean, obviously you're going in stores, you're scanning stuff with the Amazon Seller app.
Yes.
And who'd you learn from? Because I mean, how long have you been doing this for?
Almost. It's been 4 years or 4 or 5 years now already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there because I learned most of my stuff from like Reezy, K. Roth, Jim Pickens, guys like that. They didn't even exist back then, and those are all book guys.
Yeah.
Did you just Google this shit? Like, how'd you find out?
I would say the majority of it was trial and error.
Okay.
Like, there wasn't a lot of FBA, like YouTubers and stuff like that. And
okay.
The information is changing so fast. Anyways, you could watch a video today on FBA and it could be completely wrong
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why it's like everything on Amazon is always changing. Like, people ask how to set up a seller account. And
yeah.
I have like no idea.
Yes, I
couldn't
even tell you.
But
yeah, it was trial and error. I learned and lost a bunch in the beginning and made a bunch of mistakes, and pretty much just grew, just learning, keep sending stuff in from Goodwills and scaling up, and yeah, it was just a trial and error the whole way through pretty much.
Could you have done the 800K if you weren't on the road traveling? Would that even have been like a possibility? Like, if you were in one area, do you think that would be possible?
Yeah, it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable. I traveled mostly last year too, is because Toys R Us was closing last year, so that really helped a lot, because I could get a big bulk of stuff, 50 to 60% off from one store and fill up, 2 carloads at one spot.
Yeah,
so that really helped
insane.
Me get the bump in sales last year.
So do you think it'd be possible to do 800K without having like a liquidation type connection? Because I mean, like, you were basically liquidating these stores.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you think you could go around and just scan everything and still do 800K?
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely. I have multiple friends that are doing 1.5. I've got another friend they're going to do like 2 million this year.
See a traveling snake?
Yeah, it's 2 brothers. They're traveling snakes. They're based out of the Midwest, and they travel. And they should do over 2 million this year. And I think they're like crushing it already this year. It's just them two they do RA, and they do some wholesale now. They're scaling into wholesale.
Okay.
Because that's the only way. It's the best way to start growing once you can afford to start buying in bulk.
Yeah. Wholesale is definitely, you said it takes a lot of capital, but it's definitely enticing, just because it's like you buy, the profit margins are much lower, but you just buy, it's much more passive. You just buy everything,
it's so
ship everything out.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into wholesale now. Like, I just went to ASD in Vegas last month or month before, and I had bought like 400 or 500 units of one item from my wholesaler, our closeout guy, and they literally shipped it all into Amazon for me. I paid Amazon to label them. They shipped in the pallets. And I literally just clicked a few buttons. Like, I spent, I think, like $8 a unit, and I'm making, I think, about $250 a unit. But I'm selling like 20, 30 of them a day. Like, I got like a month's supply. They sold out, and I literally had to click a few buttons. I did hardly no work, and I'll still make a few, make a couple grand profit or some $1,500 profit for doing almost nothing.
So like, are these like things? Is there like a barrier to entry? Is it like a restricted product at all? Like, do you deal with that? Like, I mean, because if I was gonna do wholesale, like, I don't know shit about wholesale, but I would look for something that I could sell, but not everyone else could. You know what I mean? Is that something you consider, or do you just look for make sure it sells?
I do actually. Most of the stuff I do is closeouts.
Okay.
And it's in the toy category, because that's the category that I sell.
Closeouts.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So like they'll sell, like, I have 2 different wholesalers I work for, closeout people. I mean, I guess technically they're not wholesale people, that deal with discontinued toys. And generally a lot of the stuff I'm buying is stuff I had sold, like, I scanned that at Walmart 2 years ago. I used to sell those at Walmart. Now you can't get it anymore. These guys got 1,000 of them. I'm gonna buy them all because I know it's gonna sell. So that's a lot. That's most of what I'm doing right now, is closeouts, old toys that I'm very familiar with, and I don't need to keep a chart to tell me if it's going to be good or not, because I've sold it and I know it's discontinued. It's not on store shelves, and there's not going to be a lot of competition.
Gotcha.
So that's the stuff that I've been dealing with mostly right now.
Gotcha. That's cool stuff. So like, for someone starting out RA, or someone that wants to travel RA, what kind of leverage do you have, you know, traveling? Like, are you using websites like BrickSeek to see what's in stock? You're looking at UPCs. Are you doing that? Or?
I'm not. I just started using BrickSeek like a month or two
in
ago.
a way, though, you kind of you said you build up lists. So like we literally went in the store the other day and this dude just looked and like he was like, oh yeah, that game right there is profitable. And I was like, how do you know? He's just like, I know. You know, I rarely do that with books. You know, like I might know a book that's profitable, but it's not very common. You just walked in there and you're just like boom, 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 and it's like
yeah.
So in a way, you kind of you're leveraging that, like you're not teleporting, but you can go to so many different Walmarts all over the country, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't need to scan. I have a list of the list is in my head, but I've got a list of hundreds of videos.
Yeah, you also actually have like a actual list too, right?
Yeah, it's
you
in
showed me something in Vegas, like an Excel sheet or something.
Yeah. So I just literally just walk in, boom, 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 grab it, leave, and done, and I don't need to scan or anything like that.
Okay. So for people just starting out now, I mean, I know the RA game's different than it was before, but like, do you think the best bet is just to go in and start scanning, or like? I know you don't do this, but like join Facebook groups and get like bolos. You know what I mean. Bolos are like, what's a bolo? Can you explain that?
I guess it's be on the lookout for say there's like a hot toy, like a Hatchimal. You know, that'd be like go to all the Walmarts and buy them. You know, if they're like profitable and good.
Yeah.
And stuff
So
like
essentially, like you made your own bolo list, kind of.
Yeah,
in a
basically,
way.
yes.
So what would you recommend for for me, if I just wanted to go out and start doing this, what's the first thing I should do? Just open up the Amazon seller app and go get after it, or?
In the beginning it sucked. So in the beginning it really sucks. When I first started, I would go to Walmart and Targets and I would literally pick one toy aisle and scan every single toy on that aisle and then everything on the opposite aisle. And it would take me 2 or 3 hours to do all that. And I would find 0 items. Like literally, I scanned thousands.
How did you not quit?
And thousands of items. Like literally, I would spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours a day scanning, because I didn't have a job, I didn't have anything to do, so I just went out and scanned. And I would bitch in the Facebook groups, like, how the hell is anybody making money doing this?
You're one of those guys.
Like, oh gosh, I was the worst. Like, how can you guys even do this? I don't understand it. And I started in the summer, I think, of 2014.
Little complaining snake.
Yeah, a little complaining snake. And I just kind of grinded it through up until Q4, and then Q4 it became really easy because obviously there's toys, everything's profitable and really good. I went through Q4, and then after Q4, it's just things started to make sense. I started to have an eye what to look for because I'd scanned tens, thousands and thousands of items.
Gotcha.
But it took me 6-7 months to really fully understand what to look for, and then then I had stopped. After I scanned all the stores, I would go in and be like, oh, I haven't seen that toy before, so I'll scan the new one, but I see all the same ones I always see.
Gotcha.
I won't have to scan those ones.
You're more
again.
efficient now. How much is that list worth? If you had to put a price on it, because I mean, if you could sell it to yourself in the past, how much would you pay for that?
I've literally probably made over $100,000 profit over the last 3 years off of my list that I have, easily.
Yeah.
I've let
if you could
friends
go back in
use it
time and sell it to yourself, how much would you how much would you try to sell it to your old self for?
I don't know, probably $5,000 maybe. I'm not sure. I have no idea. It's literally how I made my money the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about RA, and even private label is it's almost like you got to keep it a secret from what you the stuff that you find.
Yeah.
A lot of people get mad on Instagram. A lot of retail arbitrage guys, I follow them, and they'll get mad when someone shares something why are you showing everyone that? Because everyone's gonna go out and get it, and then the price is gonna drop. For a plan of attack, you're telling people to go in and start scanning everything. Wouldn't you say that it'd almost be better to acquire a list like that from someone like you, or join one of these groups and start looking for bolos? Or would you be opposed to that? You know what I mean?
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I've got numerous friends that started out just buying lists, buying OA lists or buying retail arbitrage lists, and just buying what they're told to buy, which can save you a lot of time. There's definitely nothing wrong with that at all. I guess since I learned the old school way, I'm more the old school way, which is probably, there's a reason for that. It's not efficient anymore. But yeah, no, I'm not. I have an OA list that I pay $400 a month for.
OA list.
Yeah, online arbitrage list, which I want to learn to do because I would like to start doing that, so I'm not freaking driving all over the country.
You're trying to accelerate your learning process by buying. Are you buying these lists?
Yeah, I'm spending $400 a month.
Okay. Gotcha. And it's just a group that everyone sees one list, everyone's paying $400 to see the same list?
So they have 7 or 8 lists, and you can buy 1 list, 2 lists, 3 lists, you know.
And it's exclusive to you?
So they like ship out the list randomly kind of thing. So like, you know, maybe only 30 people get that list. So there's like multiple lists,
Okay.
but not everybody
because eventually,
gets it.
like, if everyone gets it,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
becomes worth it.
So it's kind
right?
of like spread out. So not, you know, not everyone's getting the exact same stuff where it's like tanking and like stuff like that. I'm still new to it, so I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of the, you know, how good it's going to actually be. So I'm just going to try it out for a couple months, and if it doesn't work, then try something new.
Right. Do you think there's more opportunity with OA than RA, just because you have the luxury of staying in one place?
I definitely see that. Like a lot of my friends that do OA that are like just, you know, they're going to do 7 figures and they barely leave their house and they ship stuff.
How big are their teams? Do they have like people working for them, or are they just doing it themselves?
I have most of my friends do it themselves that are really my close friends, and I have acquaintances that I know that have teams of people that are doing this for them.
What are the teams made out of? Is it like people helping lists? Is it people like, do they have full-time workers?
Yeah,
what's it look like?
Some people that I've seen, like they have full-time workers. They're like prepping the items for them, doing the shipments, polybagging, you know, the clothes or the shoes or whatever the heck they're doing. And then they have like teams of shoppers that are going out off of their lists and buying this and then coming back and then giving it to the preppers, and they have like just like systems down where they're like crushing it.
Gotcha. So do you have plans on building a team eventually?
I definitely don't. I like to be solo. I may have like 1 employee in the future, but I don't want to go more than that. It's like I'm happy like managing my own stuff. I don't want to be like having to worry about other people, and there's just so much more headaches I think that go along with that. So that's just not something I want to go after.
Right. So there's someone out there watching right now that wants to go on a big long road trip. Do you think RA is the way to go if you go on a road trip to make money?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, even if like most of the people that you watch,
you guys should do books. 100%.
Yeah, if you're even if they're into books or like thrift stores, like I used to do that when I started out. I would go to the surrounding states, you know, like 4 or 5 hours away, and I would just go to thrift stores before I did RA.
Yeah.
And I strictly went to Goodwills and Salvation Armies.
And that's a little bit like that doesn't require as much capital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I would just literally go out, and I didn't do books or CDs or anything then. I literally just did electronics, toys, plush toys, a little bit of, you know, used shoes on eBay, stuff like that, and I literally would just go out and buy the used stuff from Goodwill, which you can easily do. So yeah, like I would imagine even like books wouldn't be a bad opportunity to do if you're traveling around.
Yeah, you can fit a lot in your car too. I know, like if you get one toy, that one toy can like fill up almost your whole car, you know.
If you're like finding a lot of them,
big toys. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, unsubscribe. This is Jamison. I'm gonna put his link below. Peace out, guys.